figure like we're all kind of over in here and I'll just kind of vamp until I know that she's here. So a little bit of backstory on me. One of the reasons why they actually picked me for this panel, so I'm a local actor and voice actor. So for a few of the commercials, if you ever hear someone that sounds similar to this, yeah, odds are that's me. Another thing, if you ever watch like Hallmark movies, if you ever see like a short, dark person walking in the back of any Hallmark movie, that's usually me too. I just get calls of like, hey, we need someone for this. So like Christmas Tree Hotel, all they really called me for was like half an hour. Like, okay, just walk from that side of the street to that side of the street. How long am I doing this? For 5 hours. Okay, here's the funny thing with that one. Okay, yes, it was a pretty decent paycheck, but the residuals, like, you gotta get money after they air the movie or the show. They get like 13 cents. So it's nothing like getting a check in the mail of like, ooh, yes, and 13 cents. What am I gonna do with this? I just collect them. That's all I do. I never cash them. I just have like a roll book of like, someday I'll be at $5 and this is gonna be awesome. So there we go. Okay. So I've got a message. Not gonna make it before 11:40. You want me to do the Q&A? What am I gonna say? You'll feed me questions. Okay. All right. Hold on. Maybe. That's also what I'm going to be checking real quick. Let's see. A lot of that also depends on like the panel directors and trying to figure that out. So I'm going to be sending a few messages. I don't know if my voice goes that high. This is about as high as my voice will get, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, I've only used this once, and it was for a game, and I'm telling you right, I'm not going to tell you what game that was, okay? But sitting like this for about 5 hours of just going like, oh, that's so cute! And then having the director go, can you make that more girly? My normal voice is this. Okay, so, good grief, let's see. If for the stuff that you could probably go and see me, and there's a lot of, okay, does anyone play Call of Duty? Okay, so just about half of the grunting from all of the terrorists is me. So you all probably shot me like 1 billion times right now. It's one of the best credits I ever have. It's just like, oh, what was that? I did a lot of grunting. Just sitting there, oh! Yeah, so it's like, yeah, that's me. Well, what about the voice? No, not me. Oh, man. Does anyone have any questions about voice acting in general?
How do you get into it?
How do you get into it? So the way that I actually got started in voice acting on a panel like this, where I was out over in Austin, Texas, over at Rooster Teeth. I was dressed up in full cosplay. Over as one of their shows is based off of Halo, so I was in a full like Halo mech suit. Yes! Who said red versus blue? Oh, okay. So I was dressed up as Tucker, and I am working on Locust right now. It's like, we've got a caboose as one of my friends. He's amazing. He's too tall, but he's amazing. But I was just going and basically asking a question like this, and I was the last person, and I quite literally like got up to go and ask my question, which was just like, hey, I want to know how to go get started over into voice acting. But I had a really, really bad, like, my voice was super hoarse, so I sounded more like that this day, or that day, words, fun. So I go up to get up there and say, I have a question, and quite literally all that happened was, get him a job! Get him a job now! So, what wound up going, like, I asked my question, they were kind of cool. If you guys are familiar with Rooster Teeth at all, Miles Luna jumped off of the stage, ran over, gave me a card, and was like, I need you to work with us real quick. Okay, we've got some characters that we need. What that wound up going to, does anyone, of the Rooster Teeth fans, did anyone remember Nomad of Nowhere? The voice of Champion is sitting up here on the stage. So yeah, that was real fun to sit there and go like, hey, I just asked a question, I have a job now? Okay, cool, I don't have an agent, what do I do now? Like, seriously guys, you know, so. But yeah, I would say panels like this are real cool. There's a lot of job opportunities on Twitter, so that helps. And then locally, honestly, commercials. Commercials are a really great place to start. It's not super labor intensive. You can have a whole lot of fun. People are really cool. Do not go for audiobooks first. I'm telling you right now, you will cry. You'll spend hours of like, no one talks like this. Philosophy books, I'm telling you right, if you ever hear a philosophy book with a deep voice, odds are that's me too. Alright, and if it's lulling you to sleep, alright, I'm literally just trying to get you to go to sleep because I don't want to do the book anymore. Alright, any other questions? Yes. So good warm-ups that have worked for me, one thing that's actually really good, if you like, coffee actually opens up your airways, so drinking like black coffee about an hour before you record is actually really good. So is eating green apples. So green apples do really, really well that way. But just as you're going, day of, if you're planning on recording, you have to do a lot of whispering because you don't want to like hurt your voice. So yeah, it's like just whisper a lot and then start to kind of play with your voice. You know, go through exercises where you're bringing it up and then back down and lower, you know, doing those and then work on believable, like accents are great, doing impersonations are great, but if you can't hold a conversation, then it doesn't go anywhere. So pick a voice and just try to have a conversation. Honestly, do it over at Wendy's. It's so much fun to order in different, like, I'll sit there like, yes, can I please go and get number 7, please? And you just hear people go like, can you say that again? Yes, I'd like a number 7. Thank you. And then you pull up and then it's me. And you're just like, okay, your total will be, and then I'll just switch the voice. Okay, thank you very much. And you just see them like, I don't know what's happening right now. Like, the worst one I've ever done, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning over in LA, and I don't know what possessed me, but I decided like, I need Taco Bell right now. Went out, got Taco Bell, and the entire time like, I'm going to mess with this person. And all that was just like, I pull up, it's just like, yes, can I? And I'm give it to me now. And what, you hear the person just, I'm talking to a demon, aren't I? Maybe. I pull up and it's just me and like, okay, I'm telling you guys right now, like I'm sitting up nice and straight, but in my car, which is a big old car, I look like this. So when I drive, it literally looks like someone handed the keys to a 4-year-old, like, I can drive now, thank you. Okay, so I pull up real quick and it's just me over there and he's like, okay, here's your entertainment. Thank you very much. And the entire time, like, the dude got as far as this. I didn't go and actually take my food, he's just doing this, but looking at me like, can I have my food now? No! So, yeah, I would definitely definitely say having fun over at drive-thrus is probably the best practice you'll ever get as a voice actor. Or at least I found, so. Yeah. Wait, what? What have I done? So for voice acting, let's see, I've done the game Second Star where I play Shia Droid. So he talks a little bit like this through the entire thing where, you know, he's the pilot of the Persistence. But for some reason, he was also born over in Norway, although he grew up over in Boston and technically over in Baltimore, which is why this accent doesn't work for Boston or for Baltimore. But for some reason, they like it a lot, okay? And it's always great when all of a sudden they go like, okay, now we want you to say something in was it Norwegian? I'm like, I don't speak that language. No, it's okay, give us a I can't say it. All right, so like for part of that, I literally have to go and tell the captain, was that there's something wrong with the engines, and I memorized this line. It's awesome. Hey, Captain, there's something wrong with the engines. There's something. I don't know how to say it over in English. And I'm like, it took me 5 hours to sit there. Like, what's that last word? And then to do that with an accent, okay. So that one, when that game comes out, just realize that there's probably an entire gag reel of me just sitting there like, you know, so. There's that, like I said, I've done Call of Duty, yes. Apparently this is my panel now. She's still on her way, but wow. Wait, hold on real quick. Okay, so what Cristina is saying right now, make sure you keep your questions. She's going to stay at her booth like an extra amount of time just to be able to answer the questions from this panel. Okay, and if you say you're from this panel, you should be getting brought to like the front of the line. So, there you go, okay. I'm going to put my phone down, but leave it there. All right, what other, yes. Actually, no. So what actually happened over this last year, a lot of gigs actually became remote. So I wound up going and getting my own setup, you know, a while ago. And honestly, I get more gigs now that are in Australia, that are in, let's see, this morning I got a Japanese commercial. So it's something where you get a lot of them where you don't actually have to go anywhere. You just have to have really, really good audio and know what you're doing. But yeah, it's a really cool time to be a voice actor right now because there's a lot of projects going on. So yeah, like you don't need to worry about going anywhere. You can be in Utah and still work. So. I almost never get to use my real voice. So even for books, you would think like, oh, okay, you can speak like this. Half the time they want me to speak right here because it's more soothing to listen to a book with this voice rather than down over here. They always say it's too garbly. So yeah, it's like, it's not really because of that, but honestly, when you audition for these parts, you're given like the character sheet of trying to, like, you know what you have to go and sound like. So like if it's a demon, half the time I never even get to go low. It'll be right around over here. They want to clearly project it. Or if it's I did some ADR work for Iron-Blooded Orphans a while ago, and quite literally they want you lighter up over here because you have to play a teenager at that time. So having a deep voice actually doesn't really help so much in voice acting. So.
How did Ladybug become a hero?
Can you say that one more time?
How did Ladybug become a hero?
How did Ladybug become a hero? Well, I I think Ladybug became a hero when, let me see, it was, oh, I'm now forgetting what the actual earrings are called. Thank you! She actually became a great hero because of Miraculous, but it's because she's a really, really good person. So you have to make sure that you're a really, really great person, and then you can actually become a hero. Are you? I see that you're also dressed up over as my hero. Are you gonna be a hero when you grow up? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. Yes.
So with getting into voice acting, do you suggest putting together like a vocal portfolio so you can show people samples of the different sorts of voices you can do?
Yes, having it's called a reel. Having a reel actually does help. When you're starting out, you don't need to have like an ironclad one. You can have one that's just kind of you having fun, and things like that. But that will help you get in the door. The best thing that will actually help is just making sure that when you're asked to audition and you have those sides, that you come professional. The amount of times where when you go for an audition, they will ask you to slate. Half the time people don't know what slate means. All that means is you say your name and you say your representation. If you don't have representation, you just go, oh, no representation. So a slate will be, hello, my name is Stephan Watson. I'm represented with Stars Talent Studio. Then you wait, and then you go into your performance. Doing that alone gets you up to the top 50% of every job because almost no one does it. So having that professionalism will help, and then from there, having a good solid reel would definitely help. Change up your voice, but again, it's all acting. So just because it's a really fun voice or it's different doesn't mean it's marketable. Make sure it's a voice that you have the character inside your head and have some dialogue with it. Make a full conversation of it. So that would actually help you really, really good rather than 10-second clips as far as oh yeah, okay, I'm doing this and that. It's like, a casting director won't care about that. They want to know that you can act for a longer period of time.
I want you to know that it's sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Yes.
So, not exactly about voice acting, but a burning question from a 18-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Happy Meals and chicken nuggets?
Okay, so we're about to get into it right now. So currently I live over in Delta, Utah that has, there's almost no food out over there, but I frequent their McDonald's. I love chicken nuggets so much, okay, that all I have to say when I go there is hey, it's Stephan Watson. They bring out 40 chicken nuggets, 2 Big Macs, 1 double quarter pounder, and 3 large drinks. And if you think that I won't eat that all to myself, you are sadly mistaken. So when I say that I chicken nuggets, all right, I am known in a small town for loving chicken nuggets.
So, what is the weirdest job offer you've ever received as a voice actor?
Which one can I talk about? I've done some voices for the YouTube channel Mashed, and the weirdest one to date is I had to play Kirby. But I had to play Kirby in a very interesting way. And the entire time was I quite literally had 3 lines, but they were all the same line. And it was, eat me. So for sitting down for 2 hours over a Zoom call, it's okay, so, all right, all I have to say is eat me? Great. So, eat me. No, can you say it like you're trying to like seduce me. What? Just go look up the clip. I will not, I won't redo it over here, but I'm telling you right now, there's the clip that's only about like 10 seconds there, but they gave me in like 30 minutes long of just eat me's. It is the weirdest thing to replay again of like researching my own voice. It's like, and it's uncomfortable. Oh! So, yeah, that has been the weirdest one that I will talk about. There's some other ones that there's some commercials out there that I like that pop up over on Hulu and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm hoping no one ever recognizes my voice. And of course my mother is the first one to go, hey, did you do this? Yes, Mom. I really hate that Hulu broadcasts around the country. So, yeah. So I will say just that one. Just that one. Yes.
So I know you already mentioned Twitter, but are there any other avenues that you'd recommend for finding jobs now that a lot of the industry is online because of the pandemic?
So a lot of people try using castingcall.club.
Yeah.
Don't. You can get a decent amount of free work that way, but it's all work that almost never will see the light of day, and agencies won't take it seriously. If you are looking at getting into audiobooks, ACX, that's who Audible goes through. So you can just submit straight over to them, and authors will literally start asking you. From there, you can actually go and talk to a lot of different studios just by sending them an email. Boom Studios has a direct link. Cascade Studios that does a lot of outsourcing for Funimation. They have direct links. Those are some of the best things to be able to go and use. And then, again, something that actually works pretty well, I mean, I'll admit it's kind of fortunate, but doing panels like these, the amount of times I've met an agent or something like that. I ran into a Marvel rep yesterday, and it's like, hey, you have a very interesting voice. Here's a card, and you're sitting there like, what did you just give me? So, those are some of the best ways to be able to find jobs, and then just show that you're a good, fun person to work with. That will speak volumes, because the amount of people that, are kind of nasty in the business is pretty strong. So if you're a good person and you're willing to put forth the work, you can find those jobs. So.
And is there also any sort of equipment that you'd recommend? Yeah, is there also any equipment that you'd recommend for?
Yes, so as far as a microphone, a Shure SM7B, fantastic microphone. You're seeing a lot on TikTok and things like that, is a fantastic microphone. When it comes into equipment, you really have to know what you're using. So know the difference between a condenser microphone and a dynamic microphone, and what they're going to be able to do. A dynamic microphone will get you all the way over here, but notice how this one doesn't really get me. This is a condenser microphone, but I have to be right here, so that will do pretty well. A Behringer XC-Y7 USB is a very good and cheap mixer. So just those two alone would be fantastic. And if you're curious about making a booth, you can make a studio quality booth out of PVC pipe and moving blankets. It only costs you $15 to $20, and I'm telling you, that will do you so much better than getting insulating foam.
I've seen some voice actors on Twitter posting their closet recording room.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's some of the weirdest flexes when you go and you have like a closet recording booth and you're like, look, mine is about the size of like a small narrow box, all right? And I've got foam right here, and I've got the blanket over here, and I've got this microphone and this. What up? And everyone just sits there like, it's weird. The smaller it is and the harder it is to work into it, everyone goes like, oh, that's awesome. It's like if you're in a pretty a huge one, everyone goes like, yeah, that's great. How much did it spend you? $700? I did mine for $5. So, there you go.
Thank you.
Oh. then the model is XCY7 USB. I think it's 7. It's either 7 or 2, but yeah. You can find it over on Amazon for like $90. Yes.
First, I'm going to admit that I totally found you on Twitter and followed you. And now my question. my question, out of all of your Twitter VA mutuals, do you have a favorite?
Say that again?
Do you have a favorite among all of your voice actor mutuals on Twitter?
Melissa Medina, oh gosh, she's done so... Think of a recent anime and she's been somewhere on it. Okay, she's one of the coolest people that I get the fortune to be able to talk to every now and then. And like, anytime I go back over to California, she's always sitting there like, we need to go get fish tacos. We need to go get fish tacos. And I'm always sitting there like, yeah, we're gonna, do you realize who you yeah, okay, let's go get fish tacos. But she's amazing, she's an amazing singer, and she's honestly one of the coolest people that also helped me get started. She actually found me jobs. For if the girl that was still looking for different jobs is still in here, that's a great way too. Like most of us voice actors will actually shout out different jobs that we're even putting ourselves in. So if you just do like hashtag voice actors or voice acting, you'll see a list of jobs that we're all sitting there trying to go and get people work too, because the mentality for voice acting is whoever gets the job, if they can do it the best of their ability and it works out, that means that studio is going to get more money. That means that they'll be able to do more projects, and then I will maybe be able to go and get into a project. So like really cool voice actors will literally go like, hey, you need to go get this voice actor, even if you've done no work. If we know you, it's like, damn it. So yeah. Sorry for cracking my knuckles in the microphone.
I actually didn't really get that, but it's okay. It just makes me cringe, but it's okay. I didn't even notice this time. Finding social anxiety here, but I was going to ask about nuggets, but let's switch the topic. What kind of music do you like?
What kind of music do I like? We're about to get started now. So I have a soft spot in my heart for 1990s pop punk. All right, so Newfound Glory is, it does amazing things for me. Bowling for Soup. On top of that, I will also listen to a lot of J-Rock, so Overworld is amazing. Back On, I've actually loved like a ton, and then Bump of Chicken. Oh, it's one of my jams. Okay. And then I like a lot of rock. Okay, so my playlist is everywhere. You can go from like little bits of classical to J-rock to like a little bit of pop punk, and then for nowhere, like you'll get country. I don't know why I like country so much, but I do. Sometimes it's just like, it's just right. So yeah.
I'm similar then, because I have like Death Note versus like piano songs on my playlist.
Yo, I will also say, if you get inside my car and if some anime intro comes on, just realize we are singing this at the top of our lungs, and if we don't make it where the next car beside us goes like, what is going on over there? Okay, because I'm going to tell you right now, it's always like, my kids know this. So, yeah, it's like, almost any intro of any anime I love, which right now, last one that was on there, Contradiction, okay, from, was it God of High School? Oh, such a, whoever said yes over there, just, you have my love. So, yeah.
So I think voiceover work would be really fun, but yesterday I got to voice me in the car for only 10 minutes. So is there like I'm going to talk about hormones. Are there exercises that you can do for your voice to make it stronger and able to last longer?
To make it last longer, so just like any sort of workout, you have to constantly actually use it. So screaming doesn't work because you're going to go and tax out your voice. But if you actually raise up and you're kind of like almost mid-level shouting, and you do this over at home a lot, it will start to strengthen up the vocal cords. Another good thing is, like really good practice, get a podcast. get a podcast because you're going to speak for hours and hours and hours, okay? And it also teaches you, microphone awareness. So if you want to go and make something very, very dynamic, you get closer to the microphone, but that also means that you stop talking super loud. And then you can sit there and go back to normal. So those are really good exercises. Tongue twisters. I hate them. I'm really bad at them, but they're actually very good to be able to do. So those are good exercises. And then learning to speak with your mouth open. Because so many people, when they talk, they just talk like this, so everything kind of runs together and everything sounds like an S. No, learn to go and actually open up your mouth as you're talking. So those actually do really, really well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you say the most whimsy fairy tale thing ever in the most demonic, mortifying voice ever?
Thank you very much. Okay, so right now I see that you're wearing. Wait, you said whimsy? Whimsy but demonic. Okay. So you're talking almost like Sumerian. Okay. So I'm seeing right now that you have a Deco shirt on right there. I'm going to tell you, Deco is one of my favorite characters. If I was going to murder him, I don't know what it is, just about the nicest, softest boy that you want to go and hug is also the one that you want to go and slash amazingly. It's amazing. Thank you. This voice right over here, I'm going to remember it because it's going to give me nightmares tonight.
What is your favorite voice?
What is my favorite voice? Okay. So my favorite voice is similar to basically doing All Might. So it's speaking like this. And one of the reasons why it's my favorite voice is because Chris Sabat actually complimented me on the voice. There's a story of it. I said this story over at a My Hero panel a couple of years ago, but I went to Level Up Expo, and they had a voice acting competition that I didn't want to do, but my friends made me do, so I wound up doing it. And it was something where we're sitting there practicing, and they had me practice a scene that was between, oh my god, it was a chorus scene, but they wanted me to do it like All Might. And I'm sitting there okay, how's this gonna work? Okay, we're gonna talk like this. All of a sudden, Chris Sabat walks behind me. I don't even see him. And it's just, I'm sitting there yes, okay, we're doing this. And I have to scream. All right, let's scream. And again, you're not doing it right. And all I think of is you can. For about 5 minutes, we were literally having the best All Might / Vegeta / Piccolo / I don't know what I was doing, yelling battles and it was amazing to be able to go and do. Flash forward 5 minutes. I'm done, I'm tired, I'm getting ready to go over to another panel. I go over to the restroom. I'm doing my business, and guess who walks in? Chris Sabat, Sean Schumel. And the entire time I'm just, this is not happening. This is not happening. And things took a while for me. To the point where Chris Sabat leans over, and just to make it awkward, piss. From there, I now love doing the voice. I'm just we were always going to do All Might because he told me it was awesome and then said something really weird to me in the bathroom. All right. Any other questions? There's more questions. Okay, wait. What is my voice? Okay, so my voicemail is just my regular voice. So thank you for calling Stephan Watson. You've now reached me at a time where I'm not at the phone. But if you're calling for pest work, leave a message right here. If you're calling for voice work, please go to my email. If you're calling me because you need more gymnastics training, which yes, I also do that on the side. If you're calling me for more gymnastics training, why? That is my voicemail. It gets everyone at the end. They're like, why did you ask me a question on your voicemail? I'm like, I don't know, it throws people off. It's fun to do. Yes. Okay, so I did my favorite voice, which was the Christopher Sabbath type, like all my voice, but the one that I do around my kids all the time
Is this one. I don't know why, but every time I go over to them, you're playing Fortnite again.
Dad, stop it.
I'm not going to stop it. You're going to sit here and you're going to deal with it. Okay. Did I not tell you to take out the trash?
Dad, that's creepy.
I don't care if it's creepy. I'm going to talk to this like the rest of your life and whatnot.
Alright, I've gone to their school and picked them up like, Alexander, you're going to come over here, and you just see them like, oh god. Like all their friends sit there the entire time. I'm like, dude, your dad has been over on this. I swear I heard him over on this. It's like, yeah, but he's an idiot. I swear. Like, oh, and all I do, like, I will sit over inside my kid. Like, I'll sit over in my car, and then as soon as the bell rings, I'll get up on the hood, just like,
Yes, Alexander, make sure that you come over to the car. And you're not walking the night the entire time.
you just see my child just like. So, like, my favorite voice to torment them is that. They don't have a fun one that they enjoy. I make sure that they don't. The moment they go like that, that's a fun voice, is the day I stop using that voice. Oh, this is fun. Yes. Again, I'm assuming there's a lot of you that are familiar with My Hero Academia. So, the voice of Hawks, alright? Oh, I've got stories about that. So that's actually, yup, Zeno Robinson, which I would say he's one of the coolest guys ever, especially when you go give him root beer and watch him dance. Okay, just, if you ever see him at a panel, literally just bring up a bottle of root beer and you'll see him like make a mental decision like, okay, do I sit here and act professional or, no, gonna dance! Okay, so a little bit of backstory, so I actually auditioned for Hawks, and it was between me and him, and you know who got the job. But it was something where, after doing that gig, him and I were kind of talking back and forth, and he does the weirdest, funniest, but creepy, like, he calls it a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. What's the price of talking like this? But I can't do it the way that he does it. It's really off-putting. So I would say Zeno Robinson's offsetting Stay Puft Marshmallow Man voice. That's what I like, that character, that's what I would want out of it. I want it, but I also don't want to hear it, because it's going to give me a nightmare. Everything gives me a nightmare. But yeah. Let's see, anything? Yes. Oh, gosh. So you know Hawks is slightly brooding. It started as this, and then I got the call back, and they're like, make it a little bit lighter. Alright, fine, so it's gonna be more like this, because I'm constantly irritated and I don't want to work. Okay, lighter. Alright, fine, so it's like this. So this is what it was actually going to be for a long time, until Zeno came in with his voice. It was just like, I can't do that same gravel, but like that. So he's gonna get the job, isn't he? Yeah, he's gonna get the job. Okay, cool. So it's like, that was the same time that our other friend, the voice for Rock Clock, he was also inside the same office. You've got 3 black guys all sitting there trying to do our best voices and whatnot, and just Zeno knocks his out of the park, and I just look over at Bill Shop and I'm like, you ever hate this guy because of how much work he gets? Is like Static Shock and Cyborg and everything, and I can't get it. I want to get out of commercials, and then he exists. So it's like, yeah, it's like that's basically the inside joke between all of us. Is every time I shoot for a voice, he gets it, and then if it's a commercial, I get it. So yeah, it's like we both just want to switch places, and I want to be on an anime, and he wants to do Geico. Oh, there we go. Any other questions? Like this side has all the questions. There's one. Okay, what is on your mask? That's the thing. It's like I saw it. I'm like, I don't know what it is, but it's intriguing. I'm just gonna sit over here and look at you. Can ask your question. Yes. Wait, what was that? You have a green apple? Backflips for the buttons. There we go. Okay, I'm actually really glad that I got this because I've actually been dying for a green apple all day long. So like, you're now my guardian angel at this point. Do you want like a short, creepy black guy to go and stalk you all day today? I have other interviews to go and do. I will ditch them all. I literally walk. Oh, this is such a fun treat. Yes. 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 It will be one of the weirdest panels ever when all of a sudden, like, one side of the table is nothing but green apples and the other side is nothing but root beer, and watch the two of us go like, won't you come on my side? And knowing both of us, half the panel will be like, oh yes, this is fantastic, and just don't you touch me. I'm gonna get one. I'm looking directly in this camera too. So yes, if you ever want to make me happy, just show up with a green apple out of nowhere. Odds are you will get some sort of scream out of me, guaranteed. Yes. Voice acting or acting? Voice acting. So one of my favorite roles I've ever gotten is actually Toad, but I got to be a fun version of Toad. So, because you know, Toad's voice is always like this. And quite literally in the studio, they went like, okay, so we have a voice for Toad. We want to make a deeper version because he's going to go through transformation. So, I want to talk about this game. There's going to be a game where Toad comes through a transformation and gets very muscly. Now I'm talking muscly. All right, I'm talking JoJo levels of muscle. All right. And when that comes on, Toad goes from all the way up over here to down right here. So just so you know, when you are playing a game and Toad all of a sudden comes on like this for, I think like 15, 20 minutes. Yes. I do. I've got god-awful writing, but I will absolutely sign anything that someone hands my way. All right. The weirdest autograph that I've ever gotten was someone that recognized my voice from doing Call of Duty, which is again a really weird time when someone goes like, your voice sounds familiar. Did you die like a million times? I'm like, yes, I did. And I got this outside of a Maverick gas station. I forget what I was doing, but I was kind of like, it's not working. And all of a sudden someone went like, can I have your autograph? Who are you and yes? Okay, but yes, I'm yes.
Same question, but just the opposite. What was your favorite acting job?
My favorite acting job? So my favorite, to date, my favorite acting job has actually been working over on Christmas Tree Hotel, which I was just supposed to be a background actor for, and they used me in so many different shots. The main reason why it's my favorite gig ever is because all I did was crack jokes with Ashley from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So I would stand right, you can see me in that movie right behind her in like 17 different scenes. And all the time I'm just sitting there like, I want cheesecake and I want a sandwich and I want. So all the time she would sit there and like, and go. Cheesecake and I want, and she would break down the entire time. We laughed for about 15 minutes every single time, to the point where the director literally had to tell me like, okay, roll sound, turn Stephan off. So yeah, to this day, that's actually my favorite one, just for background type stuff, but yeah, there's some other movies that are going to be coming out that I can't talk about yet. But yes, I had a lot of fun over those ones too. In the back!
This is a two-part question. Do you like Happy Meals and do you like chicken nuggets?
Yes! Yes! I've already answered this question, but I'm just going to give you the brief version. There's a McDonald's that all I have to say is my name and they give me my order. Okay? And part of it includes 40 chicken nuggets. Oh yes, I love chicken nuggets. Okay, yes. No sauce. Oh, like low-key hot sauce, but no sauce. Yes. Thank you guys so much for this weird panel that I really wasn't thinking I was going to be doing, but yeah, it's really, really awesome. Make sure if you do have questions for Cristina that you guys go over to her booth, and outside of that, enjoy your guys' con.